Welcome to the Growing Up Bananas podcast, where we dissect the perks and tribulations of being bananas.
It's hard being yellow when I feel so white.
My name is Ethan. Alex is sitting next to me, and in many ways, I'm sitting next to her. What do we have in store for today?
We are lucky today to have the one and only Mandala, my cousin, who'll be joining us today to give us some insight into a topic that she is an expert in. That is, of course, snacks, but Asian snacks. So let's get started. One of your white friends came over, you gave them that, then they'd spit it out straight away and be like, what are you?
Next level. You got to build up to that.
So my mom bought like a whole bag of coffee candy, and then she would hide it in the cupboard. And then like when she was taking a nap or something, I would go and grab it and like shove it under my bed and just eat it.
So you would like squirrel away
Yeah.
for yourself.
Yeah.
My brother used to do that.
It's like bubble tea. Like, I know there's hits of sugar bubble tea, but I still go out of my way to eat it or drink it or eat like toppings because I love it. I enjoy it. It's my vice. And I've taught our kids to slurp.
Let's see this.
It's like,
This podcast is part of the Deluxe Edition Network. To find other great shows on the network, head over to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. That's deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
Be sure to check out this podcast of the month, Quad Pro Quo podcast, and many others from the Deluxe Edition Network. So, there's three categories that we can break this down to. Obviously, the first one is taste. So we'll give that a rating from 1 to 5. The second thing we look at is the preferred way to actually consume. So whether that's sucking or biting or peeling off the top layer off whatever it may be. And then the last one is the nostalgia factor. So what does it remind us of? Do we have any fond memories as kids when we may have eaten these at a certain point in our lives? So that's pretty much it.
yeah, that's easy enough.
Let's get started on the first one.
So this one's tamarind candy. I don't know if you ever grew up with it.
Tamarind candy. I've never had it. Have you had it before, Mandala?
Yeah.
Well, this is new to me now, so. Grab one each.
Yeah, thank you. Let me just open this. Does it all? It's so tricky. Oh my goodness. Struggle straight here.
Not so sure. Let me preface all of these to say that I don't eat a lot of snacks or candies, so I'm going to have to rely on you guys to do the heavy lifting.
Okay.
So first impressions for taste out of 1 to 5, Mandala.
I would give it a 3.5.
So better than average.
Okay.
Alex?
Like a 4. It's so good.
I'll give it a 2.
What?
It's just a very unique flavor that my palate isn't sophisticated enough to enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Preferred way to consume, I guess you just suck it, right?
Mm.
Now, when is it good enough to bite? Is that when it's really small or?
It's just like any candy, like hardboard candy. This is what it's like. It's sour but tangy, but that's why I gave it like a 4. But yeah, essentially I'd suck it down to pretty much like it's really thin, and then I'll pretty much chew it.
What about for you, Mandala?
It's just sour, but it brings back memories.
Yeah, so what sort of things does the tamarind lolly bring to memory for you?
Like, I think for me, the nostalgia is just like, it always just be in like one of my auntie's bags or like a grandparent's bag.
Yes.
Yeah, like when you'd like go to someone's house or you're like out and about and they're like, oh, here, you want something to like suck on his candy. And this is something that they always have in their bag. And it's not even a Vietnamese candy or a Chinese candy. It's, I think it's made from Thailand.
I'm having a look. It is from Thailand. So it's a product of Thailand. So. There we go, guys. Oisy?
I have no idea what it's
How do you
called.
say it? Anyway, tamarind candy.
Yeah.
Alrighty, on to the next one, which is another fan favorite, I'm sure, the Hello Pandas. And this I can actually get around because it's not as sweet, if I remember, and it's more of a biscuit than anything. So let's do it. What do you choose?
Can't even.
I'll give it a 4. I think it's right up there for flavor.
Like, this is like 5 out of 5 for me.
5 out of 5.
But strawberry. I prefer strawberry over chocolate. Whether that's unpopular opinion or not, my go-to is strawberry.
Mandala, what are you giving it?
Probably like a 2.5, actually.
Yeah.
Why
I
so
was
low?
Not really fond of it.
Not sweet enough, or
No, it's just like there was not much filling, you know?
no? Can you guys guess where this is actually made?
Australia.
Nope.
Japan.
According to the box, it's a Singaporean snack.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There we go. Hello Panda. Now, any memories, any nostalgic feelings you get when you eat this?
Well, like, for me, I think it's just like every time you go to the Asian grocers, it'd just be like the staple. Like, can I please grab this, Mom? It'd be like, it'd be this and another snack, which I think we actually have. But the way that I would actually eat it when I was little was there's like, probably should have shown people, but there's like a little picture of a panda on the actual biscuit. So it's in the shape of a panda, but then you actually have a print of a panda.
Let me see if I can get one for you.
Yeah.
They're all pretty faded.
Yeah.
But anyway, you can kind of see there's a resemblance of a panda.
Yeah, so
there
when I was
somewhere.
little, I would actually lick it off. And then I would put it in my mouth and just suck it. And then I would like bite into the biscuit and then the filling. But yeah, maybe you're a bit right. There used to be I feel like there used to be a lot more filling. But anyway, still a 5 to me.
So we feel like the fillings dropped off
Yeah, I think so.
as the cost to produce has gone up.
Probably.
Makes sense. There's no nostalgia for me, unfortunately. I never really had these growing up, so I've got nothing. So the next one, and I'm assuming these are Chinese.
Haw flakes.
What are they actually made of?
Hawthorn.
What is that?
I don't know. I just looked at the recipe before. Sorry, not the recipe, but the ingredients. And I saw Hawthorn. I'm like, oh, okay.
This one's childproof.
And you never had these before, hey Mandala?
No, never.
Really?
I'm sure you
I
have.
always thought these were like plums or something, but
They don't look familiar.
I'll open one for myself. So you just take they're like little circle flakes, and then you just pop it in your mouth, and
no, I used to eat a lot of these as a kid.
even the texture's weird. Like,
Oh, they're the same.
is it? I swear it was like not as. It's always been really brittle and crumbly, but I felt like it was a bit more slightly chewy when I was little. But I don't know.
Seeing as you never had the Mandala, what are you giving it out of 5?
Maybe a 2.
Oh man, you.
Tough crowd.
I know this one with the low rates for everything. I think I would rate this probably like a 2 as well. It's probably my least favorite so far.
Yeah, well, 2 or 3 for me. I think this one, obviously very easy to consume. Sometimes you let it sit in your mouth and kind of dissolve itself and you suck it, or straight away you just bite it.
Like that's what I just did. I
two
just chewed it. But yeah, you're right. I think when I was little, I would just let it like
Salva.
just savor it a little bit, and then I would let it melt in the mouth. Then I would chew it, kind of like how I did normally eat hard-boiled candy, but it has this very I was gonna say Asian taste, but that probably doesn't even make sense.
I think I know
It's
what you mean.
Yeah, it's quite exotic.
Yeah. It's like different.
Yeah, it's different. It's not a typical candy that I would normally eat.
So these Hall Flakes have they bring back so much nostalgia for me. So coming from a religious family, we always used to give these to each other, to my brothers, and pretend that we're giving each other communion. Because it's in the shape of a host. So we used to do that, and I don't know if that made us eat it more because we wanted more communion, but we just that was something we used to do. What about you?
I think it was more like a New Year's candy. I don't think like my parents like gave it to me or bought it for me, so it's not really common. But like I would, if I was at temple or something, they'd be handing it out. So I think that's where I would normally have it. But otherwise, it's just not a typical candy that I would eat, like the tamarind candy.
So your first initial feelings from it? Not again?
No,
Not part of the rotation?
probably not.
Yan Yans, strawberry flavour.
Yes.
Now, I am very opposed to eating anything that you have to dip in just because I don't know how long this dip's been sitting there. So that probably takes me out.
Oh, never thought of it that way. Would
Yeah.
ruin it for me, but anyway.
Well, I mean, it could be sitting there for years, right?
That is.
Love it.
Yeah, but there were other candies.
But it has like expiry date.
Oh,
Who checks the expiry dates?
me?
Me? I do. Aren't you meant to?
Oh, this is actually really, like, the dip is really melted. Don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing that it's melted, but. Just like how I remember it.
So what are we rating it?
Probably a 4.5.
Almost perfect. Are you, Mandala?
Maybe like a 3.5. I prefer the vanilla one.
If you got the vanilla one, what would you rate it?
Probably a 5.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, another 3. I think nothing's going to be a 5 for me, sadly, because I don't really enjoy the snacks, but it's not about that today. Preferred way to consume, you have to have it with the dip, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And then I guess the whole trick is how do you manage to have enough dip to also make sure that you don't get stuck with the crackers at the end. That's the tricky part.
The dilemma. Oh my gosh, when you're little, it's either you want to have a lot of the strawberry dip on the biscuit, but then at the end it's always you'll have too much where you have to like scoop it out with your finger, which I hate by the way, but I'd still do it just for the yarn. Or you'd end up with like nothing and you just be like cry because you have to just eat the biscuit, but the biscuit itself is actually not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad.
A bit oily though.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've had the vanilla one. I'm not sure. So what about you, Mandela? The preferred way to consume?
I would share it with my brothers and I'll just take all the biscuits, but I'll give my brothers the dips because I didn't really enjoy the dip as much.
Interesting.
Yeah, that'd be the opposite of most people, I think.
Yeah, like I would give them a stick with a little bit on tip and be like, here you go. Oh, actually, there's nothing worse when you have like the broken. Actually, there used to be like broken ones in the yarn.
Yeah, well, see, the problem is sometimes if the dip's too hard, then you break half the stick.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So that's probably another reason why I shy away from dips.
But did you grow up with the yarns?
No,
In
I was
South
more like
Africa?
the snacks. Like if you had a list snack that's too old, and then the cheese is really solid, and you try to
That
dip
is
it
just
in.
sacrilegious. That's not even like Asian.
Same thing.
It's
Basically
not
the same
even
thing.
Asian. But yeah, true. But there's a cheese snack too.
Again, I don't know how old the cheese is or if it's even cheese, but let's move on.
Okay, fine.
Copperco, world's number 1 coffee hard candy, according to the packet. Oh, that's easy.
Thanks. I dread
So
opening.
we don't like coffee as a
No.
flavour, but you like these?
Yeah, I was gonna say. So I don't like coffee because horrible memories. But when I was little, okay, I shouldn't say little. I was quite grown up because my mum was against giving us this when we were little because there's coffee in these, and I actually loved these. Like I would eat a lot of these to the point where my mum had to hide them because I'd eat too many and they're not good for you.
I actually don't mind this. Again, the fact that we don't really like coffee flavour. You just have a few of these as a kid. Probably give it like a 4 out of 5. Because it's not like it's not overpowering.
I think it's because they're not bitter too. That's one thing I don't like about coffee, which people love. There's a bitterness. Maybe a 3.5 compared to the other candies.
What about you, Mandala?
I'd probably give a 4.5.
That's probably your highest so far, I think.
Yeah.
What do you like about it?
I think it just brings back memories when I was a kid.
Anything in particular?
So my mom bought like a whole bag of coffee candy, and then she would hide it in the cupboard. And then like when she was taking a nap or something, I would go and grab it and like shove it under my bed and just eat it.
So you would like squirrel away
Yeah.
for yourself?
Yeah.
My brother used to do that. Not with these, but with other snacks.
Because you didn't grow up with these at all, hey?
No, I did have them sometimes.
Oh, okay. Oh, so they did.
I don't know if it's this exact one, but we used to have similar type coffee flavored.
Yeah, but these ones are also like the tamarind. So in the same story is pretty much like I would, again, if you're out and about with an auntie or even my parent, like my mom, it's either the tamarind candy or this candy. So those are probably like the main two ones that they would have in their bags, and they'd just give it to you.
And where do we think Copico is made in?
I would have thought it'd be like Japan or something. I don't know.
Thailand?
Indonesian.
I'm so old.
What I do like about this is there's a good variety of nationalities of snacks. So they're not all just coming from the likes of China or Japan.
Yeah, I'm learning so much.
Moving on to the mini cup jellies. Now these I did have as a kid and I used to absolutely love them. So it'd be good to have these again. I know our kids are getting in and amongst it. So
Unpopular opinion, but I've never liked these jellies.
really?
Yeah. Since I was little, I know. I've never liked them.
What colour?
Is that yellow?
Yes.
Thank you.
So yellow looks like a piney flavour.
Oh,
What for you,
it
Alex?
could be lemon.
I think it's pineapple.
Give me green. Oh no, give me pink strawberry. I think I prefer the jelly where it has lychee in the middle. Oh, is that grape flavor?
Too late.
Oh wait, there's a way to eat these though. It's like you have to.
Yeah, what's the correct technique?
Okay, so it's like you have to use your teeth because it's always too hard to use your hands to open them when I was little. And then I would just
And
like
if you have too much of it at the top, then it gets stuck in the bottom and you have to lick it out.
exactly. So what I do is like I would just slurp it up like, and I've taught our kids to
Yeah,
slurp.
let's see this.
It's like, oh crap.
See?
It's just liquid remaining, but it's like taking a jello shot. Not
See?
that I drink, but
My technique is just kind of like gnaw at it
oh, I see.
because I didn't want to eat it all in one. You know, when you're a kid, it lasts longer if you eat it slower,
What, just trying
and
to
you just
save
never
it?
know where your next one's coming from. So
That is true. And like in every household, there'd always be a tub of
Yeah.
jelly. You just try to fish out like a
Yeah.
jelly. And when no one's looking, it's like, where's the parents? Okay, no one's around. Like, and you'd unscrew it, and then everyone would try and grab some.
and there'd always be a certain color left over. It's like snakes, like snake lollies. There's
Oh.
always like the yellow ones or whatever
Or
left
the
over
orange
at the end.
ones. Yeah.
And then at the end of the jar, there'd be like either just the green ones or something.
Yep.
What are we going for a score?
I actually like that.
4 out of 5. I mean, I'm used to it. I had a lot when I was a kid. Very sweet.
Okay, I know I said that I didn't like it, but I really enjoyed that. So I'm going to give that probably a 4.
I'd probably give it a 4.5.
Again,
Nice.
right on the cusp.
But I don't know if you guys have had the ones where there's lychee jelly inside,
Yes.
Yeah.
but those are my favorite ones, especially the melon that tastes like medicine. Like that's so good.
What about the
Oh,
cups? The cup ones.
Oh yeah, the round ones.
Yeah, the different flavor ones. Like there's lychee, strawberry, like mango, and then they have like little jellies, inside. Those were good.
Yep.
Do you have any nostalgia stories for the jelly type lollies? I guess like we spoke about it, every family would have a big jar of them.
Yeah.
Probably like post Lunar New Year and things like that. These will always be floating around somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the big one is at the end. There's always going to be certain colors or flavors that no one wants, and they're stuck there forever till
Yeah.
probably the next year.
Yep. But I think I just said that the preferred ones are the one with the lychee jelly.
Yep.
Those would just be eaten up because they didn't have the citrusy or the non-favorite flavors.
It was just all lychee.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty much the lychee base.
And the problem with these is inevitably they'd be sticking around like at the end of a gathering or a party, and then you just walk by and like, oh, fine, and then you just end up having like 6, 7 more than what you actually wanted.
That's what
Just
I
because
did.
they're there.
That's what I did for Halloween New Year party. I just brought a whole heap of jellos and just put it then, and everyone would be
Yeah,
like,
they went pretty
"I'm trying-"
quick.
Yeah, they're just like, I'm trying to watch my weight, but I can't stop. Because it's just so easy to eat.
Yeah.
Tastes like you're eating nothing. It's jelly.
That was good. Takes us all back a little bit. Let's have these Want Senbei rice crackers. Excuse the pronunciation if it's butchered. A product of Taiwan.
Shout out to Alan.
Oh, guess we can have. Well, they come in packs of 2, so 2 packs.
Oh, so we don't get one each? What a shame.
Before we eat it, it's salty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everything else has been sweet. This is probably the only savory one I think we have of the snacks.
Mm.
So good.
You'd be tempted to take these to school, although you know you probably get teased.
So that's... Okay, hold up. I've got a story to tell, but let's do our rating first before I get into it.
I think they're so Moorish. You'd give it like a 4+,
Yeah.
4.5 even,
It's really... It's actually really...
because it's so light. You feel like you're not actually like it's not heavy. It's not gonna sit in you.
I think it's really salty though after eating all this sweet stuff. Like I'm just like, the flavor. It's like a flavor bomb.
What are you giving it, Mandala?
Probably like a 4.5.
I'd probably say 4.5, 5.
Do you guys already like the last couple?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Pretty
Or
much.
3 or 4?
Yeah. Like this one here is something that I would take with me on a plane. Like the same thing with the Yan Yans and the Hello Pandas. Like anything I can just stuff in my bag and it's easy to eat. But the only problem is like it's actually quite sticky.
Yeah.
Like if you put your fingers.
Messy.
Yeah.
Yep. So we've got to factor in the messiness as well.
Yeah.
So you had a story. What was it?
Yeah, so mine would be, so in our lunchbox, my mum would actually put these in our lunchbox growing up. So it was a great snack to have. But if you smell it, it kind of has like any rice, it has that rice cracker smell.
It does have a sense, yeah.
Yeah, so the kids would just be like, what are you eating? Because of course, if you look at the packaging as well, there's like Asian writing on it. Is it Chinese?
Products of Taiwan.
Like there's Chinese characters on it. So you get all these questions and people be like, ugh, like what are you eating? But I'm like, it's a biscuit, essentially, a cracker. I'm like, it's so good. So even though I was kind of judged for eating it, I didn't care because it was just so good.
Can you remember? Yeah, no, that is a good story. When you were younger, Mandala, can you remember any times where you either didn't want to bring out your snacks or you got teased because it was something different to a roll up or a snack or something like that? Can you remember anything like that when you were younger?
Maybe not snacks, but probably like food. You know, like the sticky rice in the pandan leaf.
Oh wow,
Oh,
you
yeah.
brought that
You
to
took
school.
that to school?
Yeah, I did.
Man, I would kill for that right now.
I was embarrassed. I brought that to high school and people would just judge.
In high school, but you would,
Yeah.
but you went to an Asian school.
I did, but like if I
Still
was
not something you take for lunch, right?
true.
I think, yeah. Guess not. Oh, well, yeah. My friends would be like, oh, that's cool, like, because they make it. But I guess it just depends on, like, who you were friends with and...
Yeah. I did sit with like different people.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that would have been an absolute no-no for myself in my school conditions. Can you remember any other foods that were like you wanted to take, but you just knew either one wasn't going to travel well in the lunchbox, or two, it's going to smell and you don't want to have to answer all the questions about why you have it and what it is. What is it?
Durian.
Did you ever take it to school?
I've never taken it to school just because I was like afraid that it'll like stuck up the whole like classroom or...
Well, even last night when we were at a family's house and Charlie, our 2-year-old, was running around, I'm like, I swear he's pooed. But I think it was just the durian cake we
It was a durian birthday cake.
Oh my gosh.
yeah
Yeah. And baby Ava was like crawling around. I'm like, maybe it's Ava. I'm like, oh wait, no, it's not her.
smell.
And then I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
no.
wait, it's a I was
It's
like,
the cake.
yes. I was just like, hey, it's the durian cake that's right there. No wonder. But for me, one of the snacks that I used to love as a kid was jackfruit chips. So they have dried jackfruit and they have dried durian, and essentially they call it chips because it's crunchy. It's like durian or jackfruit crisps, and I would love it so much that there was this one time where I actually brought a bag of jackfruit chips to school, but then like I think I'm so desensitized by the smell of it and the taste of it because I love it that I brought it in and everyone was like, what the heck is this? Like, what's that
Because
smell?
jackfruit, for those who don't know, it's got a very strong scent
Smell.
as well.
Yeah, like it's funny because people who like eating durian don't like jackfruit. They think it's smellier.
See, I'm the opposite. I prefer jackfruit than durian.
Yeah, it's always like one or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're both quite pungent fruits. But yeah, so I never brought that in ever again because it kind of, I think once they pointed it out that it smelled, I just stopped eating it for a while as well.
Yeah, you don't want that attention when you're young.
Yeah. It's not as bad as having these rice crackers because the smell isn't the same.
Yeah.
Not as bad.
So I think the rice cracker is definitely up there for everyone
Yeah.
in terms of the whole package. Travels well, good flavour, not heavy on the stomach, and
Full of MSG. Yum.
full of MSG.
Yeah.
Can't taste my tongue right now.
Yeah. I was like, oh, my.
So we're nearly there. Alrighty, so the next one is just candy.
No, it's Happy
Spell
Plum
that.
Candy. No, it says it at the back. It says like Happy Plum Candy or something. If you look at that.
Anyway, another product of Taiwan. Man, I tell you what, one of these is so healthy,
Yeah.
which is good. This is gonna go nowhere.
Bruh.
Oh. Oh, this is good. Ow. The struggle is real. Can't even get mine out of the packaging.
Here's the thing.
Loving your facial expressions over there, Mandala.
Never had these.
What?
Tell
Not
us-
these ones.
Tell us what you're experiencing right now, because I don't think I've ever had this.
It's really hard. Weird.
It's like
My mouth is so small.
sweet but salty.
Mm-hmm.
Really sweet but really salty.
Mm-hmm. Let me talk, but I need to take this out. Sorry.
What's the best way to eat it? Because again, it's one that you can either suck.
Okay, so these candies aren't the typical ones that we would normally get. They're sometimes on a lollipop stick. Have you had on a lollipop stick? Or they're thinner than this. Have you ever had these before?
No, not those ones. Probably
So
the
it's-
ones in the packet.
So these ones are, it's like hard syrup, like glucose syrup, clearly.
Toffee or something.
Yeah, it's like a toffee, and then in the middle you have your sour plum candy, but it's not even candy, it's just straight up sour plum seed. I think it's a seed. Because
Yeah,
actually,
I mean, it looks like it.
I'm trying to think if you can actually eat it or you just suck it and then you spit it out. I haven't had it for that long. That's how I don't remember it. But essentially, you would suck off all the sweet stuff and you get to the really salty, sour middle part. And as a kid, you would just be so disappointed once you get to the middle because you're like eating it and you're like, oh, it's so good. And you're like, what the heck is this crap in the middle?
So I've given up. I'm going to give it a 1, as in I'm probably never going to have it again or finish the one I have. It's just something different.
Yeah, kids would not love this. And I wouldn't give it to them either because it's just straight up sugar. For me, I'd probably give it like a 2.5. Like, it's not horrible, but I wouldn't have it very often.
What about you, Mandala?
I'll probably give it like a 1.5, just because it's like a lot of sugar.
Yeah, it's like, well, this one is solid. And I say I give it 2.5 and I probably won't eat it again, but I can't stop putting it in my mouth.
It's that balance of sweet and salt.
Yep. So this candy, again, it's typical candy that I would normally have growing up, but I would have it on special occasions too. So whether it was maybe family friends who would bring it over because they didn't have any other candies for us, so this is what they'd give us, or you'd also get it at Temple. But
I think a big factor as well when it comes to snacks is how quickly it can be consumed.
mm,
So with these, you're sitting there for about 15, 20 minutes, I'm going to think. Probably not that much, 10 minutes.
mm.
So you can't kind of just keep churning, unlike some of the others, the jellies, those sorts of things that you can just eat quickly and move on and have another one.
Like your mouth
It's
would
just too hard.
yeah, I get so sore from eating this, but I can't stop.
Any nostalgic memories for these ones?
Just how disappointed I was once I got down to the middle or to the bottom of it. And it's weird because you don't like the sour plum, but you'd still eat it anyway because it's in your mouth already.
Yeah. And you're just hoping that it might be better than the last one that you've had.
You really haven't tried anything like this, Mandela?
No, never. Just the ones like the plum ones in the white packaging. You're the one with like just with the plum seed.
Your mum would always have it. What's it called?
The gum lumps.
Yes, I think it's a gum lumps.
Yeah. And those were pretty sweet, weren't they?
Yeah,
And then
but
you like bite around the side and then it has a pip in the middle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I prefer those.
Yeah.
interesting. I'd probably prefer this over those. And those aren't even your typical candy. Like if one of your white friends came over, you gave them that, they'd spit it out straight away and be like, what are you?
Next level. You got to build up to that.
Oh, okay. Sorry. These are what I thought you were referring to when you were talking about the sour plum candies, but these are another classic.
While Alex is getting through hers, Mandela, for you, do you prefer like chip-like snacks or do you prefer sweets? Do you have any preference?
I would prefer like. It really depends on my mood, really. Sometimes savory, sometimes sweet. More savory,
What is your go-to?
like go-to snacks.
Yep.
Probably like Lay's chips, Lay's potato chips.
They're
So
not
chips.
okay. So just chips.
Yeah.
But there are a few good Asian snacks that I forgot to get.
Well, we can't do them all today, but
The prawn chips.
yeah, they are
Yes.
classic.
Or the onion rings.
Yes, you've only recently tried the onion rings. Hey,
Oh, I mean, I had them a little bit as a kid, but again, I never really got into them, but they are good.
but the shrimp chips again. Shrimp chips are so good, but not something that you want to bring out around your friends because they just smell like.
Yeah, the smell of shrimp or prawn is pretty potent. So getting down to the pointy end now. Grape bubblegum. Is this actually a bubblegum?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess let's just do it.
Yep. They have different flavors, like melon, strawberry. You could get like assortment.
Yeah.
Not for quick consumption.
Nope. But when I was little, I just had like the whole thing, like a whole packet in my mouth.
So it comes in a pack of 4, so you'd have all 4.
Yep. But you can have one, but it's just not enough.
Yeah, the flavor just runs out quick.
Yeah,
I'll
maybe,
have one.
Yeah, or maybe when I was little, I was just greedy. Fine, I'll
Or
have
just
one.
mean.
I mean, flavor-wise, you've got to give it pretty high. It's got plenty of flavor.
Mm-hmm. Crispy shell. Chewy. I'm pretty sure I've eaten these, like swallowed them.
Not knowing it was gum.
I think I knew it was gum, but when you have it by itself, yeah. Unless you keep chewing it, then you're like, oh, it's gum.
See, that's a trap when you're a kid. When you get offered like a ball like this, and you just assume that it is a candy that you can just eat and swallow. And you end up swallowing it and it's gum, and yep, you're in trouble from there.
Mm.
What do we got for flavor? I'm giving a 4.
I'd probably say like 4.5, but I'm not really a gum person. But
No,
flavor wise, it's really nice, like really strong flavor. And I love grape. I feel like you can never go wrong with grape flavored candy.
What are you giving it, Mandala?
Maybe a 3.
I think you have to. So pro tip out there for everyone, you got to have at least 2 or 3 at a time. You're right. The one just doesn't do it.
It's just like a tiny little morsel of just gum. It's like, you know, when you have a piece of gum, like chewing gum, like you don't just eat one, you normally eat like 2.
Yeah. Yep. That's right. Any nostalgic feelings from eating it?
Yeah, 100%. Just me and my brothers fighting over the gum. Oh, and the one time when my brothers were upset with me, one of them, can't remember which one, they spat in my hair. The gum.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And that's my haircut.
So would you get given a 4-pack, like a 1-pack of 4, when your mum would dish it out, or how would it work?
Yeah, so it comes in a pack of 8. So my mum would, and there's 3 of us, so it's uneven. So my mum would just give us 1 pack at a time.
So how does 4 go into 3?
Oh, well, we should just save it. And I think maybe my mum would just buy another pack at another time, and then eventually it would even out. But we would have an assorted flavour one. So sometimes you get a packet of flavour that you don't want. So you'd have to swap it with each other, which didn't really work when, you had only 4 pieces in there.
Yeah, well, someone gets 2.
Yeah.
But you, Mandala?
I just remember fighting with my brothers, like on which one we should get because of the assortment ones. Yeah.
And the shit flavour always gets left, right?
Yes, always.
But like they had lemon, grape,
Strawberry.
strawberry, and rock melon.
Yeah.
And orange.
Orange.
Yeah, no one ever wanted. No one ever wanted.
That's the one that's left at the end.
Yeah, that's the one that's left. You're like, you can have it. I'm such a good sister. But yeah, probably it. But this is probably one of those ones at the ends in the agent grocers. So they'd always have at the ends of all the
registers.
Or the registers, they would have these candies.
Yep.
So these are the ones that you just grab like, Mom, please, Mom, like you have to get it for us.
I don't know how many Snickers bars I've got sucked into over the years just because it's at the bloody cash register.
They call it the impulse aisle or
Works
ends.
every time. Almost every time.
Because you buy it on impulse because it's right there. It works.
On to the very last one, which is a crowd favourite, I think. More so for the nostalgia. The classic White Rabbits.
You had that hidden. I thought we were down to nothing. I was getting so disappointed. Oh.
Now, with the White Rabbits, they've started to actually branch out into like different things like cakes and all sorts of flavours with White Rabbits, which is pretty cool. It's good to see it coming back. So
That's because, wasn't there something like it was toxic or something at one point?
So I think there was a report that at one point they were mixing melamine into the White Rabbits. It's obviously not good for you.
Yeah.
But yeah. So before I get started, what is the correct way to eat this? Some people like to peel off the rice and eat the rice first. Some people like to chew it.
The rice paper.
When I was a kid, I would always peel the rice paper off and then eat it.
So when I was little, I would peel the rice paper off thinking that it was paper that didn't belong. I was like, oh, great, it's melted into the candy again. And I'd have to like peel the plastic, and then I ended up just like, oh, whatever, giving up and like putting it all in my mouth. Sorry, I'm talking with my mouth full, but but then, see, I prefer mine hard like this. Sometimes you get it and it's really soft and chewy, like really soft already. But I prefer mine on the harder side, and then eventually it melts in your mouth and it's chewy.
Probably one of the more, let's say, internationally recognized snacks, apart from like a fortune cookie, the White Rabbits.
Oh my gosh, this is so hard. My jaw's like so from chewing it.
So what are we giving for flavour? I mean, it's such a unique flavour. It's got to be a 5 for me.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give mine a 5 as well. Just for the taste. It's really creamy. It's not too sweet. And I could have Not a whole bag, probably could, but I could have a whole bag just stuffed in my bag. I'll be that auntie handing out the candies, and this is the type of candy I'd be handing out the White Rabbits.
Bit of mixed in melamine.
Yeah.
What about you, Mandala?
Probably give it a 4, just because it's like really hard and just really hard to chew, especially with my mouth. It's really small.
Oh, your jaw's not the best either.
Yeah.
What would be your technique to eat it? Just throw it all in and chew?
Probably just suck it until it's like maybe like softer.
Soft
More
enough to chew.
malleable.
Yeah.
So my grandmother on my mum's side, she would always carry, as you said, lollies and sweets for all the various grandkids. I don't know how many we are. We're like 20 something or 30. So there's a lot of grandkids. But she would always carry the Four Seasons, the medicated peppermint oil at all times, like multiple bottles.
Yeah.
So like all her clothes, all her lollies, everything would just smell
Oh no.
like medicated oil. So when
Yeah.
you would eat the White Rabbits, it would be like peppermint flavored.
Yeah.
So that's like a big memory for me whenever I had White Rabbits. I remember my grandmother and how every sweet that she would give us, whether it was coffee or White Rabbit, would all taste and smell like peppermint oil.
That stuff is so strong. Like really strong, the oil. Like it just burns.
Yeah.
Good stuff, but it burns. Poor kids having to eat that.
And then, yeah, my grandmother was, oh no, have another one. Like, oh no, make it. You really want one, but you don't want to, you don't want to eat peppermint oil. Scented White Rabbits.
White Rabbits are a classic, I think. It's just a staple.
They brought out
candy.
multiple flavors now too, haven't they?
Yeah, they brought out, there's chocolate, which your mum bought by accident, or I think she thought it'd be a hit, but no one liked it.
I wasn't a fan. Have
Yeah.
you tried it?
No, not yet. I didn't know
There's
chocolate exists.
Yeah, she just saw it before in the cupboard. Yeah, we still have a jar from last year.
Yeah,
'cause
no, they
one's
didn't. They
seen it.
didn't go down too well.
There's matcha. They
And
have
then,
matcha too.
yeah, so there's matcha, but I've never
I
tried
haven't
it.
tried that.
Yeah, I'm just happy to stick with the classic creamy. I don't even think it's vanilla. It's just
Milky?
milk powder.
Milk.
Yeah, milk flavor, but it's good. Even the cakes, one of the bakeries near us makes White Rabbit cake, and it's so good. Tastes just like White Rabbit. Nice sponge, fluffy. But anyway,
This episode is brought to you thanks to Ronin Grooming. If you're looking for a fresh cut and some quality chats, hit up Richard at Ronin Grooming, located at Wills Gym, McGregor, and give him a follow at roningrooming.au on Instagram. So what we're going to do is we enjoy them, all these snacks. Now we're going to have a quick summary of how much sugar is actually contained in them. And we'll go through them one by one. So in no particular order other than me just picking them up. So what's the measurement of grams to teaspoons of sugar?
I'd say 1 teaspoon is 4 grams.
4 grams. All right. So we'll go per 100 grams for each just to make it consistent. So White Rabbits, you've got 56 grams of sugar per 100 grams. So we're dividing that by 4.
Yeah, no. You know that reel, that the meme where like people like trying to think when they calculate and you have the formulas and stuff running. That's my head right now. Like 56 divided by 4. Like all my Asians out there good with maths be so disappointed with me right now.
It's like 14. The 14 teaspoons of sugar in 100 grams of White Rabbits. I mean, that 100 grams is a lot, but we'll see what that compares.
What's a serving? Doesn't it tell you?
Well, some don't have it per serving.
Oh.
So the grape gums. Would you guys say, if you were to guess, more or less sugar
Per 100 grams?
per 100 grams?
Probably less.
More?
Although it was really
It's
sweet.
Significantly more.
Oh my god.
So you're looking at 75 grams per 100.
Oh, okay. Well, it was really sweet now that I think about it.
So we're looking at almost 20 teaspoons of sugar in these bad boys, guys.
Oh, God.
Better brush your teeth after.
Yeah.
The jelly. What do we think? Pretty low in sugar, lower in sugar. It's all relative at this point, isn't it?
They're all full of sugar. Like, if they didn't, I'd be so surprised. Probably say it's probably just the same, maybe like 50 to 60.
It's actually not that bad. So you're looking at 25 grams
per 100 grams.
per 100 grams.
Okay. Not bad, I guess.
So you're looking, 5 to 6 teaspoons. So these so far, the healthiest choice.
5 teaspoons.
Oh, you're feeding your kids those anyways. It's not-
I'm not giving it to them after reading this.
Onto the rice crackers then.
The sodium levels.
So what do we think? I mean, you could probably guess that it's going to be less because
of the
it's
rice.
not as sweet.
Ooh, like
But
15 grams of sugar.
what it lacks in sugar, it makes up in sodium. But you're looking at 12.
Oh, yeah.
1200, so not bad.
That's close.
Yeah.
It's just that doesn't have percentage of your daily sodium intake, but you're looking at 648 mgs. Is it
Milligrams.
milligrams? I don't know if that's a lot or not, but it sounds like a lot. Onto the Haw Flakes. So what are we thinking?
I don't think they were that sweet, were they? But I feel like they're maybe 30 grams. Or is that too much? No, because they're so thin. So,
You're looking at 40 grams per 100.
okay.
Mm.
That's a 30.
Bit more.
10
I mean, they're pretty sweet, I guess.
Maybe it's 10. So it must be 10 teaspoons in one packet or something because each packet is quite light and there's a lot.
And then we've got the fake plum
It's not fake
snacks. Now, we can only assume these are pretty heavy with sugar from the
Definitely.
fact that it's coated in toffee. What are we thinking?
Probably 120 or something ridiculous. 200.
120 grams in 100 grams.
Oh,
Really, 60 grams?
I didn't think that through.
70.
Oh,
70.
bro.
It's pretty heavy. What's
don't
been
do
heaviest so far?
Probably that one.
Is it? Yep.
Yeah.
Copicos, the toffee coffee candy.
It's quite sweet though.
Quite sweet.
Yeah.
What are we thinking? Less than the,
I reckon less than
Less than the
the one that we just
Yeah.
had. Maybe still 40.
you're looking at 56.
I feel like all these hard-boiled candies just full of sugar.
You really got to think about.
There's probably 65, 70 right now.
All right, this one, which is
The tamarind candy.
tamarind candy. What are we thinking?
I said 65, 70. Just
Pretty close. 68.
Oh my gosh.
they're quite sweet. All of them are really sweet candy. I mean, you're not eating it for health.
Definitely not. And then lucky last, the Hello Pandas.
Wait, where's the yan at?
Where is it?
Oh, this one over here, hiding it.
Okay, well, not lucky last, but what are we thinking for the Hello Pandas in terms of sugar?
No, maybe 40 grams.
Yeah, 30.
Okay.
30 per 100. So not as bad.
Mandala, how many grams of sugar over there?
Per 100 grams is
Yeah.
28.3.
Yeah,
Grams.
not bad. Well, I figured it was.
So, I mean, your biscuit's always going to have less, as you would expect, but yeah.
I
like
love
you
how I
said,
say not bad, but if you think about it, that's 5 teaspoons, just over 5 teaspoons of sugar per 100 grams. It's a lot. But like I said, you don't eat this stuff
Often.
because it's healthy and we don't eat it very often. Now I gotta hide them from the kids because that sugar high.
Do you guys, when you buy things, do you tend to look at the nutritional breakdown much, or more just, like you say, you want it because you want to have a snack?
Yeah, no, I don't. I feel like that's, for me, if I did that, it'd just be really unhealthy. For me, if I buy a snack, I'm going to eat it and enjoy it because it's not like I go out of my way to buy it and eat it all the time. I guess if I was trying to watch what I'd eat, then yes, I would. But for me, I'm buying it for the enjoyment and for the pleasure. So I'm going to eat it, enjoy it, and not have to think about, oh no, I'm eating 500 teaspoons of sugar. It would just ruin the experience for me.
Yep, that's why I just shy away. But you, Mandela, do you check out the nutritional breakdowns?
No. No. It just ruins it for you.
Yeah. Why do that to
Why?
yourself,
Yeah.
people? Why would you do that to yourself?
So you know what you're eating, but anyway, it's just, I guess, different perspectives.
It's like bubble tea. I know there's hits of sugar bubble tea, but I still go out of my way to eat it or drink it or eat like toppings because I love it. I enjoy it. It's my vice.
It's good to try different ones, go back down memory lane.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's many more that we've missed out, so we will do this again. Mandala, thanks for having your input. It was handy just to have someone who knows their snacks, and I think it's also good now that we know what we like and how much sugar's involved.
Because not want to eat it anymore. No, thanks for coming on and eating these snacks. I think I was trying to get Mandala to help me compile a list of what snacks to get. And so these are the ones that we came up with because they were nostalgic to us. So thanks, Mandala, for doing that for us.
Thanks for having me.
I think in the next short term, we'll do one for drinks or something similar like that. So we'll definitely try to do this again.
Do all the bubble teas. Just all the bubble teas.